10 TV News at noon starts with breaking news. Chopper 10 with this video from over downtown Cincinnati earlier this morning, where a gunman shot 5 people inside a bank building, leading to lockdowns and an exchange of gunfire with police. We do thank you for joining us today. I'm Tracy Townsend. Investigators are working the scene of this busy area of downtown Cincinnati. Right now, police have that area around the Fifth Third building blocked off. And again, friends, this is near Fountain Square. That area you see to the left of the building is just filled with restaurants and other office buildings. There's a hotel in that area. A short time ago, during a news conference, Cincinnati police confirmed they shot and killed the gunman. 10 TV's Maureen Kosad is on the scene with the latest. Maureen.
Yeah, well, the mayor of Cincinnati said it appeared this gunman walked into the bank and began actively shooting innocent people. He described this scene as horrific. I want to show you what's happening in Fountain Square right now. You can see there is a heavy presence here, both law enforcement and media, as investigators begin to sort through and attempt to understand what happened here this morning. Let's start from the beginning. We know it was shortly after 9 o'clock this morning, just as everyone was arriving in downtown Cincinnati to go to work, that police believe this active shooter entered the bank through a loading dock, went into the lobby, and began shooting at random innocent people. Now, police say 5 people were shot by the gunman. 3 of those people were killed. 2 rushed to area hospitals to be treated for their injuries. That is when the shooter was confronted by Cincinnati police officers. Police say several officers engaged with the suspect. They believe police shot and killed the suspect, although they're not ruling out the possibility that the gunman could have turned his weapon on himself. Of course, police will be relying on surveillance cameras inside the bank, as well as the officers' body cameras, to determine exactly what happened inside that bank. That first call for help came at about 9:10 this morning. We're hearing eyewitness accounts, people reporting they heard 10, 12, as many as 15 gunshots inside that bank. What we don't know right now, Tracy, is the why. It's very unclear any circumstances leading up to this morning's shooting, any attempt at explaining a motive. Police are certainly not there yet. They're in the very fledgling stages of this investigation. In fact, we do not yet know the gunman's name. So we continue to gather all of the evidence here at this scene. But again, you can see there's this heavy law enforcement presence all around us, though. The sidewalks are open and people are still moving about downtown Cincinnati, trying to go about their day. And I can tell you, the word that comes to mind is incredulous. A lot of people just stopping, staring, watching, kind of wondering what now, what will we learn? So if you've never been to Cincinnati, I can tell you this area, Fountain Square, as you mentioned earlier, Tracy, this is a very popular destination. I mean, this is kind of the heart of downtown Cincinnati. Theaters, restaurants, wine bars, cafes. So certainly if there was a place where people in Cincinnati had a sense of security, it was right here in the heart of downtown, where there's so many people at 9 o'clock this morning. But certainly that sense of security shattered here at 9:10 this morning when that 911 call for help came. Shots fired inside a Fifth Third bank. We are continuing to follow this developing story. We'll be talking with the people who were eyewitnesses to this event. We'll be bringing you much more tonight on 10 TV News at 5. And of course, we'll be updating you all day on Facebook and 10tv.com. Tracy?
All right, Maureen, thank you. The mayor of Cincinnati spoke just about an hour ago, saying officers arrived on that scene within seconds. Mayor John McCain, who'd been watching news updates and spoke to what Maureen just alluded to about how busy Fountain Square is, says that unfortunately these kinds of scenes are becoming all too common.
This is not normal, and it shouldn't be viewed as normal. This is abnormal. No other industrialized country has this level of active multiple shootings on a regular basis, almost on a daily basis. I think there's something deeply sick at work here, and we as a country have got to deal with it.
We do want to recap what we can tell you right now. 5 people were shot inside the Fifth Third building in downtown Cincinnati. 3 of those people and the gunman are dead. Police and other leaders there say that downtown Cincinnati is safe. They do not yet know why that gunman opened fire. Their investigation is underway. Our crew will be on the ground there in Cincinnati and keep gathering information throughout the day. Do look for updates at 10tv.com, through our 10TV app, and on 10TV News starting at 5 o'clock tonight.
Always be prepared. Download the 10TV app today.
We continue to follow that breaking news out of Cincinnati. Roads in the downtown area remain closed after a gunman opened fire at a building near Fountain Square. The gunman is now dead, along with 3 other people. Police say the gunman entered a loading dock and opened fire before entering the lobby of the building. That's when officers arrived.
We want to definitely keep everyone involved in this tragic situation in our thoughts and prayers.
I heard about 8 gunshots, and I actually got on my knees, kind of got down on the ground.
The motive for the shooting is still unclear. 10 TV's Maureen Kosad is there on the scene. She'll bring an update to you on 10 TV News starting at 5 o'clock.
We have continuing coverage right now on breaking news. One person is in the hospital after an officer-involved shooting that happened north of downtown Columbus early this morning. 10 TV's Valencia Wicker joins us with more on what happened here. Valencia, what's the latest?
Well, we just got word from Columbus Police that they will hold a media briefing later this morning. However, we do not yet know exactly what time that briefing will be. Meantime, we do know that detectives are still here. As you can see, 5th Avenue and St. Clair Avenue are shut down as detectives kind of try to gather as much information as they can. Here's what we know so far. We do know that police responded to a call for a man with a gun inside of this building that you see behind me. The sign in front of the building says it used to be called Misty Blues. That's a private nightclub, but since then that sign has been taken down. Police do not yet know what the current name of the establishment is. We do know that 2 officers responded, approached the suspect, and fired shots. That suspect was then taken to Grant Medical Center and is undergoing surgery right now. We do know that the 2 officers involved are doing okay. They do not have any injuries. At this point, we do know that investigators are just collecting as much information as they can, witnesses, just trying to understand exactly what caused the suspect to go into this building with a gun. Of course, we will keep you updated as we learn more information. Karina.
All right, Valencia, thank you. And you can stay with us on air and online. We'll keep you updated. You can always check on 10tv.com. As we get updates, we update our website. Good morning, 8 a.m. the time here on 10. We appreciate you waking up with us. I'm Karina Nova.
And I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Ross Caruso.
All eyes to the skies this morning. It's the weekend, so people have errands to run, but there's also a race going on in Dublin as we speak. And just wondering, how long is that rain going to stick around? Because in some places it's pouring down right now.
And it's moving slow. It's not moving fast. And just like I was telling our friends on Facebook Live, that this kind of pattern that we're in, although we had a little taste of fall the past week, well, we're back to summer. And with these summer type storms, they're very disorganized. They don't move as fast as what we would like, and they stick around for longer than what they should. So dealing with some heavy rain across central Ohio, but really not much here. Looking at Columbus, you can see just waking up to a gloomy start to the day. So you may think that there's rain in the vicinity, and well, you're right. And especially if you look up north and you're in the vicinity of some of this heavy rain that we're looking at, you can probably hear the thunder, see the lightning. But luckily, we're starting to see this action slowly diminish, with just the frequency of the lightning strikes. That can kind of show you, well, with respect to the strength of the storm, as it's going to continue to weaken, you're going to see less lightning strikes and less heavy rain. And you can kind of see this little cell just start to slow down its roll as it's been packing some pretty heavy rain through parts of Marion and into Delaware. As now that'll slowly continue to push east, where we'll see some more rain into Mount Vernon and into northwestern Licking County as well. Not only up towards the north, but towards the southeast, or excuse me, the southwest. We're seeing some of that heavy rain and frequent lightning associated with this cell moving through parts of Wilmington, north of Hillsborough. That's going to continue to push east, likely going to be moving into Chillicothe over the next couple hours here. So unfortunately, there are going to be some slow meandering storms through the morning hours. And as we start things off, everyone's going to be dealing with that humid air mass locked in place as we see those temperatures starting off generally into the low 70s. Good news is not tracking any severe weather risk for the day today, just those non-severe thunderstorms, but we still could be on the lookout for some minor flooding associated with these slow-moving storms. More on when we'll see a dry out come through and how high those temperatures are going to climb going into your new upcoming work week.
John McCain, the military hero who had a long career as a maverick Republican senator, has died. His Senate office confirmed that on Saturday. And we want to show you video of his motorcade right there as it traveled last night from McCain's Cornville, Arizona home to Phoenix, where he will lie in state. He was 81 years old and he died at 4:28 p.m. yesterday, surrounded by his wife, Cindy, and his family. McCain was diagnosed with glioblastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer, in July of 2017. On Friday, McCain's family said that with his usual strength of will, he had chosen to discontinue treatment. CBS News correspondent Nancy Cordes has more on remembering this American hero.
I've been an imperfect servant of my country for many years, but I've been her servant first, last, and always.
John Sidney McCain III was a military hero who became a maverick politician. He joined the family business, becoming a Navy pilot. In 1967, on a bombing run over Hanoi, he was shot down and badly injured, then bayoneted after splashing down in a lake.
When they found out that my father was an admiral, they took me to a hospital.
While holding him as a prisoner of war, the North Vietnamese tried to exploit his family connections. They offered him an early release, but he refused to violate the military code of first in, first out. He was finally freed after 5.5 years of beatings and torture.
I do not recommend the treatment, but I know that I'm a better person for it.
In 1982, he was elected to the U.S. House from Arizona, and 4 years later to the Senate. He earned a reputation for straight talk.
If the special interests continue to play a greater and greater role in the formulation of legislation, then we will see a breakdown of democracy as we know it. And I'm not exaggerating.
In 2008, he clinched the Republican nomination, choosing another maverick as a running mate.
Governor Sarah Palin of the great state of Alaska.
Palin energized conservatives, but in the midst of a financial crisis, the country was ready for a change. Democrat Barack Obama beat McCain with a 2-to-1 electoral landslide. He returned to the Senate, became chair of the Armed Services Committee, drew fire from Donald Trump.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
And returned it.
That in many respects, this administration is in disarray.
But in the summer of 2017, the normally sharp McCain grew fatigued and had a few verbal stumbles.
In the case of Mr. Comey, the President Comey, case of President Trump.
Tests revealed glioblastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer.
This disease has never had a more worthy opponent.
Still, the former fighter pilot returned to the Senate to cast a decisive vote against a slapdash effort to repeal parts of Obamacare. And after 3.5 decades in Congress, he left his colleagues with an entreaty to work together.
We're getting nothing done, my friends. We're getting nothing done. And the times when I was involved, even in a modest way, with working out a bipartisan response to a national problem or threat, are the proudest moments of my career and by far the most satisfying.
A message only a maverick could deliver. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Washington.
In a memoir published in May, McCain wrote that he hated to leave the world but had no complaints. And tributes are pouring in for Senator John McCain. McCain was elected as a U.S. Senator from the state of Arizona in 1986 and was reelected 5 times. In honor of Senator McCain, the flags were lowered at the Phoenix Capitol last night. President Trump tweeted, "My deepest sympathies and respect go out to the family of Senator John McCain. Our hearts and prayers are with you." And Meghan McCain, the senator's daughter, tweeted in part, "I love you forever, my beloved father." Barack Obama tweeted, "We shared for all our differences a fidelity to something higher." And Ohio Governor John Kasich called in to CNN last night to talk about the loss of Senator John McCain. He reflected on his years of friendship with him and spoke about his final days.
As time went on, it was harder and harder to talk to John because it was difficult for him. He just, he was losing a lot of energy, and we knew that this moment was just around the corner. He was just really incredible. McCain was just an amazing guy.
John Kasich also said that he told John McCain that he's always been a hero to him. And according to CBS News, John McCain requested that former Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush deliver eulogies at his funeral, and former Vice President Joe Biden will speak at a service. In a 2017 interview with 60 Minutes, Senator McCain said he wanted a service at the Naval Academy. And as of now, no information has been given out about where or when the funeral will take place. We'll bring you more on services to honor Senator McCain as we learn more. And you can see more information on his life and legacy on 10tv.com. Switching now to what's happening here in Central Ohio. So many events happening in our city today, and one of those is the Emerald City Half and Quarter Marathon in Dublin. 10TV's Valencia Wicker is there to tell us more about this fun race. Good morning, Valencia.
Well, good morning. Since we checked in with you an hour ago, we are now seeing hundreds of runners come through the finish line. And it really is not only just a special moment for the runners, but also the families and the friends who get to cheer them on. Standing with me right now is Pam Hampson, and you're here with Team Blake, a very special team. Tell me a little bit about Team Blake.
Yes, we're all here to support Blake Worsick. He was diagnosed with leukemia in June of this year, so he's undergoing chemo treatment, so he couldn't be here today, but we have lots of family and friends here supporting them in our T-shirts and cheering him on. We also have the, what are you called? The what?
Knuckle draggers.
Knuckle draggers. The knuckle draggers are veteran Marines, Army, all kinds of military guys. There's a bikers club, a National Bikers Club. They have raised a lot of money to support Blake's family, and we are they're just awesome. They rode here on their bikes here today to support him. We have a flag at our table for people to sign. We have bracelets, we have T-shirts, but they have been an amazing support. Blake's Uncle Brandon is a former Marine, and this is one of his buddies, and he's put this together for him, and we are just thrilled.
Now, there's a special thing about Blake. How old is Blake?
Blake is 15 months old.
He's 15 months old. Yeah.
A hard road, but Children's Hospital is amazing. His doctors and nurses are amazing, and we just have a large support group getting us through this. Yeah, 15 months old, and a lot of times he acts like a regular toddler. We sometimes forget that he's a sick baby.
Yeah. And to watch your family members run and cross that finish line for Blake, your grandson, your baby, how does that make you feel?
Well, I'm already starting to cry, but the support is amazing. When things like this happen to your family, you find out who's there for you, and these people are here for us, and it's just amazing. It's a terrible situation, but there's so much blessing in it, so it's amazing. Thanks.
As you can see, this is a race with a huge cause. Of course, everyone here is just coming to be with community and rally around folks just like Team Blake. We will keep you posted as we learn more about all the folks who are coming out through the finish line. We should be coming up with the last few runners in just here in a moment. In Dublin, Valencia Wicker, 10TV News.